Hello. Bro, I never, no. It'd be pretty hilarious one day if he just baited everyone with the stream starting and dipped. I think I actually have done that before, but unintentionally. Unintentionally. Basically what happened was I started my stream. I realized I was late to a photo shoot I was supposed to go to. And then I ended my stream, told my chat that I had a thing to go to. and then just turned it off. It was really nice. It's a fucking beautiful, beautiful stream. Or when the cleaning peeps turned on my stream. That's happened twice. Right? That happened when I was living in Koreatown and when I have had my house. That has happened 2 times. Which is, you know, a lot more than it should have happened. Did the tuning notes shock you? First of all, I'm glad they did it on Friday instead of Monday. You know, more time to think about it and stuff, but I mean, shock as in like, did they get it perfect? No, but they also never do, so you're not expecting them to do that. I mean, I don't know. I would say I wasn't shocked. I think there were some things that were nerfed that made sense, things that were buffed that made sense. There's stuff that's still real good, stuff that's still real not good. You know? So I'm gonna have to check and make sure I'm not showing any illegal stuff here on my guy. A little leak couldn't hurt as a treat. Bro, this is the longest loading screen of all time. You're showing illegally cute dogs? Dude, they're so tired. They were out a little bit with, oh yeah, there is super illegal shit on my screen right now. Okay, 1 second. Hold up. There's insanely illegal shit. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. I think. Yeah. Max, there's an update to the saga of that Quasi guy who imploded his WoW career over an add-on. Oh, okay. We'll look at that. I was going to have you guys make your raid comp predictions today, which you can tell by my extremely descriptive title. That's actually what will be happening. Ooh, 1 second. I'm going to grab a little soda. Dude, I finally know what friend slop is. Wait, so he pivoted to being a Pokemon Pokopia YouTuber after 2 months of silence. That's probably a good career move if he fucks with it. I feel like the Pokemon community is so massive and they're so diehard, but do they consume a lot of, like, if I go to, like, the most recent Pokemon game, is it pretty easy to be a successful streamer or content creator in that world? Not like an opening packs person, but... It's the Nuzlocke people who get the views? Yeah, that makes sense. I streamed a Nuzlocke one time, and it was one of the most insufferable experiences I've ever had. Right up there with streaming to the Elden Ring community. Literally nothing you do is good enough for them. If you want proof, the channel name is Delvox. He has 300 subs. Alright, let's check this shit out. Oh, I'm assuming it's on YouTube, right? I squeezed 40 Pokemon into a 2x2 Pokopia apartment. Wait, 4 days ago. Here we go.
Behind me is essentially the system I use
Wow.
to find and store everything in Pokopia within a few seconds. Never lose a single item again. So in this video, I
mean, it makes sense. Like, he's been used to being a content creator. He's obviously good at it. It's interesting he went for the full name switch. I mean, you guys are going to get all up in arms about it because he's, like, trying to stay anonymous, which I guess makes sense. Bro, man, he's always had other channels for different games. Yeah, but were they, like, different names? Dude, he just took that whole add-on thing so bad. Like, bro, he could have just, like... He could have just been, like, my bad and just fucking... changed his add-on a little bit. Everyone forgets about it. Dude, he might not have even needed to hit a my bad. He could have just like fucking ignored it and then just kept doing it. It's like he got like some people to pile on him, which again, like getting piled on online, if you guys haven't ever experienced that before, having like thousands of people telling you to go fuck yourself, it kind of fucks your head a little bit. Like I get it, but I feel like he just took it so crazy bad. Like he could have just not responded like that and it would have been chill. But I mean, also, like, maybe he was just over WoW anyway, and it was straw that broke the camel's back, but it really seems like he just, like, had a generational crash out. Yeah, that is him. But I mean, like, I don't know. He's gonna, like, I guess it makes sense. He needs a job to support his family. Pokopia is probably really popular. Hopefully he really enjoys Pokopia. Or Pokopia, however the fuck you're supposed to say it. Because the thing that I never wish on anyone is being a content creator and making content and, like, just spewing out content for a game you don't actually like. Like, you're just basically doing it because it's a popular game and you're just riding the trends. Like, bro, there's few people more miserable than the person going live to create content for a game they don't like. Holy fuck. That is absolute misery. How'd you figure out what friend slop meant? Well, Dorky kept saying it, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? He's like, games that are, like, meant to be played with friends. I'm like, so every game. Like, literally every game ever is better with friends. And then I saw one today where it's like basically you're all fighting over one bathroom and you all have to take a shit and you like literally turn into poop if you can't poop in time. Like that's the bit, and like you play with your friends and there's voice comms. And I was like, bro, that's gotta be friend slop. I don't know if it's friend slop, but that's like, that just sounds like a whatever friend slop would be. Max, are you done with your 27 characters for the week? Yeah, they're all ready to go, bro. I'm feeling amazing. What's the new Quasi channel on YouTube? It's called Delvox. Hey, this is a good comment, bro. I know that voice. Glad to see you're still around, good sir. I know what channel I will be going to for very helpful Pokopia videos. W, dude, that's got to make him feel so good. Like, someone recognized him, and they don't hate him. I really feel like he just made, in his brain, he just thought like everyone fucking hated him, so he had to leave and out of shame. And like really, it just simply wasn't that deep, man. It's pretty surface level drama, honestly. Max, if you have a few hours to spare, watch the Tettles video about the history of the Race to World First. It's hours long? Did you say fucking hours? Hold on. The history of the Race to World First in World of Warcraft. 3 hours. Yeah, I have an excerpt in this. He interviewed me. He asked me to interview me for this. A while ago. I'm sure he added it. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I can, like, ethically react to a 3-hour video. That just sounds like an all-day stream. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's all the way Uldir, Battle to Zarlor, Eternal Palace, Nyalotha, Nathria, Sanctum, Sepulchre, Vault, Aberys. What is it, just commentary? He had some... Where's my interview, bro? Okay, he does some interviews here. Let's see. Okay, there's mine. He talks to Cams. Okay, so Cams after Uldir, Cams after Battle to Zarlor, Eternal Palace... 26 hours. Is that how much earlier we killed Zakul than anyone? I think that's what it is. Nyalotha, Cams, Castle Nathria, no interview. Sanctum. Wait, interesting. Oh, he asked me when to stay up for a boss and when to sleep. Okay. Sepulchre, Vault. Mirrorsill. Nerebar Palace. Liberation, Mana Forge. God, Dementia's a banger. Max, watch it at 1.5 speed. I hate to break it to you, man. I can't watch or listen to any content at, like, increased speed. It can't fucking do it, man. Like, as soon as the cadence of someone's voice is off, it's just completely ruins it. It's unlistenable. When are you gonna upload the add-ons short to YouTube? The fuck does that mean? Actually, I do remember we watched a video on 1.25 speed like a couple years ago, and that was the first time I've ever done that, and it's because whatever we were listening to, they spoke so slowly you wouldn't believe it. Like, it was unbelievable. They were speaking at a snail's pace, and 1.25 just made them sound like a normal human. Max, rate the flight path if I'm just hanging in Silvermoon. Dude, you know what's funny? Have you guys noticed a pattern? Because, like, when I flew around in Valdrakken and all those other places, I ended up just doing the same thing. But I'm not, like, really thinking about where I'm going. I'm, like, pure, like, just random. But maybe I do, like, it feels like there's so many places to fly, I haven't developed a pattern, but I bet I don't know, maybe I have. You know what we're going to do, bro? We're going to fly around with that inky black on. Where's that inky shit? Where's that good ink? There it is. Yes, sir. There's a random bow they left midair above mid-Silvermoon that you can land on. Huh? Can you be like slightly more specific? Like there's literally a bow object. You probably can't see it in the dark. All right. Is it like really high? Max, kill the high guard plug. Bro, it's so funny. Like I never want to get rid of it if I can help it. Is the damage meter details? Yeah. When are you going to the facility? I could go anytime. I'm probably going to go like next week though. I'm probably going to do the first half of Heroic Week from home. Go now? No. It's nice and cozy at my house. All right, I think you're lying about... You're probably not lying about this bow thing, but I just can't find it, so... It said Central Silver Moon. Like, I'm kind of there. Max, how do you feel about Mythic Plus coming out a week after a raid? It's dumb. I don't understand why they would do that. Max, do you know that in Tettle's History of the Raced World first video, he linked the wrong Twitch name for you? I don't care. I do not care, man. If I'm going to think why they don't have Mythic Plus out on Tuesday, it's because they want you to do Mythic Zeros. Because, like, Mythic Zeros have, like, a daily lockout, I think, and they give you Heroic track gear. And, like, maybe you can't appreciate Mythic... But people have been doing Mythic Zeros for 2 weeks. I don't know. Bro, you made this the fuck up about the bow. Champ gear? Oh, yeah, sorry. Champ track, not Heroic, yeah. Can Midnight Falls be the hardest end boss we've ever seen? P3 mechanics, including Fire Axe Seeds, the Rag Firefighter mechanics, Star Augur symbols, and the Sire split phase. Sounds spicy. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, the likelihood that is yes, actually, because, like, Gallywix is really weird, but outside of Gallywix, they've made... In the last 3 raids, they've made the second hardest boss and the first hardest boss they've ever made. So, like, if bosses keep getting harder, you could see that. Mac, do you like Unholy Decay? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's like a little basic. I just like playing DK in general. DK is fun. Max, did you see Echo's Race to World first video? No? Okay, he said the bow is at 31, 32, 78, 49. Okay. Okay. All right, 31, 32. Got to go up a little bit. Why isn't it changing? I can just find it out with my mouse, huh? So right above this thing? How high up is it? Let me turn this off again. Oh, it's not much higher than the building. Oh, right there. I see it. It's going to be really hard to land on it without regular flying, but... Yeah, dude, why is there just a bow? Okay, maybe if I come on top of it here, it'd be easier. I mean, I might have to just, like, fucking dive bomb it. Why is that there? Ah. Ah. All right, this is on fucking ultra hard mode. Let's just do the regular flying. How do you go back to regular flying? Oh yeah, here we go. Wow, this feels ancient. Wait, am I on it now? Oh yeah, I was on it. Dude. Why is this here? There's just a fucking bow. I love it. You gotta hear Blight Bearer. That's such a stupid pet name. Casket Caller? That's alright. But also, get out of here. Can't I army and get another one? Max, how do you feel about the overall theme of the next raid? I don't really care about the theme, so I don't know. Max, kind of dumb question, but when you recruit someone, who's the one that actually recruits them? Like, reaches out to them? I don't know. Sometimes it's like we use a player that used to raid with them. Sometimes it's Scott, used to be me. Sometimes it's Boomy. Sometimes it's Zevi. It's usually like if we have any connection to that person through like anyone in our guild, we would usually have them reach out to them. Dude, random shout, but and this is kind of a free ad, but the fucking big arch, the like the thing that the McDonald's CEO like couldn't take a real bite out of. The dude got bite mogged by the Wendy's and Burger King CEO. Bro, that shit owns. That shit fucking owns. I've eaten more of those than I would like to admit. Did Max ever do a comp prediction with chat? We're doing that today, bro. It's in the title. Come on. Max, do you play on max graphics settings? I don't know. Looks like it. I mean, pretty close to top, yeah. Max, have you tried Vellum, the raid sim on Steam yet? Wait, someone made a raid sim and it's not Pineappleo? It's very cool. Alright, yeah, we might look at it later. Max, I haven't seen Atlas in any of the Mythic Zero splits this week. Is he in this tier? Yeah, Atlas is playing this tier. He's been really busy, which is like not ideal. And also he has some people in his group that are European, so like their times just like did not line up at all. So he was like a little behind, but he's gonna be ready. I thought you said they didn't have to do Mythic Zeros. Yeah, the original plan was not to do Mythic Zeros. But then we assumed they were gonna take much longer than they did, so we ended up doing them. Like we found a way to do Mythic Zeros in half the time that we were expecting, which made it now worth our time. It would have not been worth our time had they been double the time they took. Max, do you think Liquid or Echo is more prepared for the raid right now? Dude, I don't know, man. Well, whoever your favorite team is, they're more prepared and they're going to win. How am I floating? I found a random bow someone in chat told me about that is just in Silvermoon for some reason, and I'm standing on it. Max, do you feel as though Specs have gotten too brain dead? I don't know enough about it. I haven't played a ton of the Specs. I know Mage. Yeah, you mentioned Mage. I know Mage feels definitely less intricate, which probably sucks if you already knew how to play Mage. Dude, yeah. That guy's Twitch name is B Movie Fan. Max, do you feel the race hype and adrenaline when Heroic Week starts, or not until the boys get to the venue? I'm pretty excited right now. I mean, I've been, thinking about stuff and working on stuff all weekend. It's been definitely started to feel more real yesterday. Heroic Week is interesting. It's definitely good for the game to have Heroic Week for sure. But it's also like a little delayed. Like, I don't know, if Mythic was coming out on Tuesday, it would be like a totally different feeling, but we get like a week of just like slamming Heroic. It also allows us to be a lot more prepared. Like, what's really nice about Heroic Week is if you have enough time, you can do like walkthroughs on Monday, which is like off stream, literally practicing Mythic positioning for any kind of like specific spreads or any kind of like stuff you want to test and try. If you want to like double check your idea of what class balance is, by Monday of next week we will have literally fully geared of every class and spec in the game and can test them in any scenario we want in the actual raid, right? So like you basically just have like infinitely more good information to go off of. Max, who do you think is going to top the meters in the last boss? You know what, bro? Let me ask you that question. Let me get the spreadsheet up. Does anyone remember what I named this sheet? It's something really stupid. It's called No. Oh yeah, I do. There is a spreadsheet on here called No. Is that it? It is it. Dude. Hell yeah. Oh, it's so bright. Did you see? Look, this is me turning on Dark Reader. Here's turning off Dark Reader. Are you fucking ready for this? I mean, it's just a regular ass spreadsheet, so. I mean, dude, before I even... Can I just, like... Nah, you guys are gonna see it. You're just gonna see it all bright and shit. It's gonna be amazing. Max's end boss, assuming Illyria, Lura, or both. No, Illyria's and Voidspire. The end boss is just the last boss. Illyria is not the last boss. Okay, here we go. Here is Nerebar Palace. This is what you guys guessed, and this is what it was actually. Think on Nerebar Palace, you guys got 16 out of 20 correct, which is pretty solid. Ooh, Galliwick's raid though. Okay, to be fair though, like there's fucking 5 non-tank monks in the comp. Like that was just an absolute Mickey Mouse comp. That was what we thought we were going to play before the tiers, so it wasn't like some random shit happened and you got it wrong. Like, if you were to test this yourself, this just was the best comp. So, definitely you missed, but it's also like... I feel like what a lot of pre-raid chat predictions are like, what have people done recently? Plus, what have people have been saying are going to be really good? Plus, like, what are the Sims saying? Which is a huge meme, right? Which is why you're usually caught off guard. Yeah, also a million mages, too. 4 mages. 4 mages, 3 windwalkers. L. Well, you guys didn't even have a single windwalker, though, so that's, like, kind of on you. All right, Mana Forge. We did this... Oh, yeah, so Mana Forge, you got 13 right. You missed on both Ellies. You missed on Windwalker again. Chat, you guys are always missing on Windwalker. Remember that. And then you absolutely borked the healer comp. Holy fuck. Jesus, chat. Although, in your defense... Actually, wait, you guys didn't even have Brewmaster. Like, Brewmaster was the better comp for the last boss. But yeah. Okay, we're gonna do this again. So... Man, 1 month pre-raid. We're not doing that. Alright, let's do this. So, we are doing this for... what do we even call this raid? First tier of midnight prediction. All right, chat. So we're going to save some time here. There are some raid buffs. I'm not telling you this is going to be the case, but just the way the game is made, there are some raid buffs that kind of have to be in, right? You're always going to have one mage. You're always going to have a warlock. Oh, that's not necessarily true, right? Like, can you do a fight without hellstones and without wipe recovery? Some bosses you literally don't use soulstone, like, isn't Demencius like that? On Demencius, you didn't use Soulstone res, so you basically... But, I mean, obviously the fight required gateways. Well, let's just assume there's a Warlock, right? There's been a Warlock in every end boss for the past 20 years, so let's just... let's throw that bitch in there. Hunter, pretty much required raid buff now. If you guys haven't been paying attention, that is something that cannot be sat. Basically, Blizzard saw us sit Hunter on Dimensius for 1 total week, and then crashed out so crazy bad that they just buffed their raid buff so much that you could never sit them. And then meanwhile, other people just don't even have raid buffs. It's amazing. Okay. Rogue also. I think there's been a rogue in on basically every end boss. There's like random bosses in the middle of a tier where you can be like, hey, we don't need a rogue for this fight because the way the damage is sourced to the environment instead of the boss or whatever. But like realistically, that raid buff is like very, very good. So you're usually always going to run a rogue. If rogues ever have hunter treatment or whatever, they're probably just buff atrophic poison. Okay. Anything else mandatory? There's a few other things mandatory, but you guys would actually have to pick where it would come from the raid. Right, like paladin buff, warrior buff, monk buff, DH buff. There's a lot of like different spots that you can get a lot of these things. Is your mic low? Nah, I think it's normal. All right, chat. Let's do some easy ones. Get them out of the way. We don't have to like do a vote or anything. We'll try to make this quicker. I want you guys to type what you guys want for healer comp. Type the 4 things. Like type your healer comp real quick. Whatever you think it'll be, and then like the most common one, I'll just fill the 3 most common things I see, and then we'll just go from there. I'll give you a chance to change it later. Okay, Prez, Resto Druid, Holy Paladin, Prez, infinite people saying double Prez. Okay, 2 Prez, Resto Druid, Holy Paladin is by far the most common one. So let's do... Yeah, let's just do that. Fuck it. Priest, or Prez, Priest. And you guys said Holy Paladin. Again, we'll give you a chance to change that. Oh, yeah, a decent amount of you guys are actually saying Resto Druid, so let me actually just... Yeah, almost everyone is saying... Okay, you guys... Okay, there's a lot of people really arguing about... whether you would play, There's like an equal amount of people saying priest. Some people are saying no pally, some people are saying no priest, some people are saying no druid. That is, very interesting. Okay, but almost all of you are saying 2 Prez. So, we'll leave 2 Prez in there, and we'll come back to this later. DH buff. What do you guys like? What do you guys think you're playing? Devour, Havoc. Yeah, Havoc got buffed recently. I mean, either way, you don't have to choose, right? It's just DH, so you can be both. So, okay, so you guys are saying that. I don't see anyone saying Vengeance, I don't think, so that's easy to just put that in. Okay, we need a Shaman buff. What are you guys thinking? Ellie, yeah, a million Ellies. Okay, Ellie. What other buffs we missing? We're missing a monk buff. What's the monk buff? Brewmaster. Okay. What is the warrior buff? Actually, there's a lot of people saying Windwalker. Ooh, seeing a lot of Fury and a lot of Prot. Let's just throw a poll up. Why not? I should also mention that I don't know how much this will matter, but again, this is about the literal end boss. There's only one boss. It's like your spec might be good or bad for that specific boss. right? I don't know. So who knows? Like there's like healing, for example, is weird this tier. There's a boss this tier that requires like a very specific kind of single target healing. There's a boss this tier where they're basically requiring Mistweaver, basically, or at least they're really wanting you to do that. Those aren't the end bosses, but that might like influence your comp, maybe, right? So just stuff you want to think about. Okay, doing the poll. What's the warrior buff? It looks like DPS is bare. Ah, it's so close. You guys are so. No, I can already tell. We're gonna fill out this whole comp, and you guys are still gonna be arguing about whether you think you're running a prot warrior or not. Maybe I should have let you guys vote on Brew too, because a lot of you guys are Windwalker fans. Windwalker's 100% seeing play. Could be, right? I mean, we've had bosses where you played 3 specs of Paladin. I think Sarkareth, all 3 specs of Paladin killed that boss. We ran every spec of Monk as well. All right, DPS 1. Cool. So, chat, do we want a DK at all on the last boss, and if so, where? Blizzard has recently not really given DK a raid buff, but they've said we're gonna make sure there's always a grip you need. So maybe they did that. People are saying Unholy and Blood. Okay. Maybe we'll hold off on Blood for a while, but a lot of Unholy fans, so we'll just put DK in here. DK DPS. Okay, is that all of our raid buffs? No, we need a Paladin. Chat, where's the Paladin coming from? Ret, Prot, or Holy? Massive amount of people saying Holy Paladin. All right, slamming that in there. Cool. Anything else? I guess you could argue like Evoker raid buff, but like you already have 2 of them. But Evokers are weird where like their value kind of increases with each one you bring. Oh, Priest, yeah. Okay, so Priest, where do you guys think you're bringing Priest from? Is it healer or DPS for Priest? Ooh, seeing a lot of chat. We're gonna have to pull this. Keep in mind, you can run both. Right now, we're just getting the one that you know is going to be in that you have to have in. All right, so people want healer priest. All right, we're about to fill this out real quick here. The next couple ones are going to be real fast. All right. Are there any DPS specs you guys think are like, just looking at this list, you're like, there's definitely going to be some of these? Oh, did I put in the wrong thing? Oh, shit. All right. Sorry. People are all talking about shadow nerfs. Okay, healer comps figured out. DPS, though. Feral. Okay. A lot of feral enjoyers. Let's do that. Can change it later. Og. Windwalker. Dev. Is everyone okay with Og and Dev? So you've seen a decent amount of Og and Devs. Someone said 2 mage. Someone said no DPS evoker. Someone likes 2 lock, 2 mage. Alright, now you guys are just fucking arguing out here. Okay, let's just do the one. It seems like people are you guys okay with 1 AUG? Yes, 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 no. 2 or 0. They completely changed how AUG works. So like AUG now buffs all your DPS all the time. You can bring more than 1 AUG, but now that AUG, like technically every AUG you bring loses a little bit of value because now that extra DPS you're buffing is an AUG, which like most of its damage isn't like as much of a DPS. So you could like, it's not like the whole thing like you would never play 2 AUGs now. Like AUG could technically be overtuned enough where you'd bring 2 AUGs anyway. But you know, one brings you the most value. Does it not stack? It does stack. But like, think about it. If you're okay, look at the rest of these DPS, right? So outside of AUG, there is 13 DPS that you're buffing with this 1 AUG, right? You're buffing all these people with 1 AUG. But the second you bring a second AUG, right? They do stack, but it's like now this AUG, if you look at what this AUG is buffing, it's now buffing these 13 classes, but one of them is an AUG. So you are, you know, one of your 13 other buffs you're giving out are, I guess it's technically 14 because you also buff yourself, but is just obviously like AUG does less self damage than like any of these other classes do because of the way it's made. So okay. I'm seeing a lot of people saying second mage. Just gonna throw that in for now and then we can make some changes. Max Boomkin. You gotta do Boomkin. Some people are saying second DH. Okay. There's still no Windwalker. Alright, fuck it. I'll put a Windwalker in there. Remove Windwalker, lol. You'll get a chance. Right now, just if this was the comp you were given and you just had to add one more thing, what would be the last thing you add? Delete Windwalker, add Brew. We already have a Brew. We also still have an open tank spot, by the way. Maybe I should actually have you guys do that. What do you guys think the second tank is? Well, let's focus on the tank right now. Tank only. What's the second tank? I'll pull it. I mean, I'll just literally just add all the tanks. Except Brewmaster, I guess. Do you guys want me to have second Brewmaster be an option or have it be the other ones? All right. Adding the pole. Pole's up. Second tank right now. All right. Blood DK easy winning that. Prot Warrior in second. Guardian in third. We definitely have a few Prot Warrior and Remove DPS Warrior enjoyers. Okay, so now we have one more spot, and then we'll give you a chance to alter it if there's things you guys are mad about. You have to agree, though. One more spot. Second lock, Dev, second unholy. Okay, I'm going to have to make a poll for this as well. No, don't post about removing anything yet. We're not going to do that. We're filling the spot before removing anything. So, what add? So, second lock. Second. What else did you guys say? Oh, third DH. Okay. Moonkin. And Devastation. Dude, the Silver Moon music is so nice. And second DK. Alright, pulls out. What do you guys want the most? Second lock is winning by a landslide. Okay. All right. New question. No longer the poll. What do you guys looking at this list? Let's focus on DPS only for now. What makes you the most mad? You see it, and you're like, bro, that ain't fucking it at all. All right. New poll coming out. Windwalker is getting a lot of votes. Farrell's getting a lot of votes. We're just focusing on DPS right now. I know you guys are typing about like tanks and healers. We'll do that after. Even though sometimes they're relevant, right? Like, for example, a lot of you guys are saying like remove warrior. You would have to like also change your tank to do that. Seven melee, you want like 5? That's not necessarily true, right? Like, you've been able to run a lot of melee in recent years. Not to mention this last boss has like a Denathrius like split, and the last time you did that, you separated melee and range, which means you would need 10 melee, including tanks and healers. So maybe not, right? But also you could just add mobile range to a melee group if you had less of them, right? You don't have to do that, but. I think Windwalker and Feral are like by far the most things that people want to remove right now. I don't know if there was anything else that was like super up there. I'm just gonna do this. Which one you guys want to remove? Just add those two. Feral out to a huge lead, and then Windwalker with the crazy comeback. All right, do you guys want both of them out? Like, basically how it is right now is that I think a lot of chat is looking at it like, dude, Feral is never in the fucking raid comp. What's going on right now? And then the other part of chat has looked at some out-of-context 5-minute pure single-target sims, which is, honestly, if you're using that as a metric, about as stupid as someone who's just like, you know what? That just doesn't look right. Both of those two things have about as much validity, so. Let's see. Windwalker wins. All right, Windwalker's out. All right, chat. What the fuck do you want to replace Windwalker with? Now, you do have some other options here, because a lot of you guys are like Resto Druid enjoyers. Keep in mind, by the way, we're going to actually update this. So this is before Heroic Week. We're going to update this on Monday to give you an option to change it after a full week of Heroic Split. So you'll have like extra time. You want to add Ret or Shadow Priest. Is that in preparation for you potentially changing the healing comp? Because I know a lot of people are huge Resto Druid heads, but obviously there's no room for that right now. And to add a Resto Druid, you would have to drop Holy or Priest. I don't even really know how to do this. Okay, it's like, what's this DPS spot? Let me pull what you guys are asking. So I see Ret and S Priest. There's really not a lot of extra. There's some like second Hunter fans, but very few. Some Dev Evoker fans, actually. Okay, I'm just going with this. All right, pulls out for the last DPS spot right now. All right, Dev Evoker. Yeah, Dev's blasting. Also, I think you've played a Dev Evoker for like years now. Like, Dev is constantly good. So at least historically that would check out. All right, someone in chat is spamming remove Holy, add Resto Druid, remove Feral, add Ret. Ooh. Could be a one guy, could be a one guy. Or is he cooking? There is another option too. You could if you're really worried about raid buffs, right, and you don't like Feral, you could play Guardian instead of Blood DK and just assume, like, right now you guys are like huge, you're playing 2 DK. AMZs are good. I've heard people argue that like AMZ doesn't matter as much because before what you would do is you'd put down an AMZ and like you'd take like 2 of your health bars and damage and it would absorb so much damage. And that's not how damage works now. So maybe it's not as good. But like, can't you look at it the other way? Aren't like raid cooldowns... There's going to be so... Because there's so many less healer cooldowns and there's less ways to get topped, isn't the few examples where you do actually get bursted, isn't having like DR still really, really good? Because it's hard to get topped, so... Like, that stuff still has value for sure. Stop trying to bait us. I'm just using general raid building philosophy. I already know what we're doing. I'm just helping you guys out. But like you guys are saying, like you really want like a druid buff and you don't like Feral. That's what some of you are saying. So I mean, you don't have to get it from healer. But a lot of you guys are really high on Resto Druid. What's the red glowing light behind you? Oh, back there. Yeah, that's a new router I got. I can probably like dim the settings, but it's like a fucking gaming router. And you know how like anything that's like branded as gaming, it has to look as like gamer as possible, like crazy RGBs. That's all it is, bro. It's just got crazy RGBs going on. I'm trying to figure out the best poll for this because it seems like the most common thing you guys are saying is Feral for Resto Druid, Ret Paladin for Holy Paladin, basically. You're basically swapping Holy and Resto and you're swapping Feral and Ret. Let me actually just do a poll for that, I guess. That's kind of easy, right? Like, what would you rather have? Holy Paladin / Feral Druid or Resto Druid and Ret Paladin? Oh, I said what would you rather have, but... Max, is there a class that could benefit from double the amount of PI if we brought a Shadow Priest? What is the best PI target on public Sims right now? I'm sure you guys know that information. Y'all love Sims. Windwalker? Well, we don't even have one of those, so... All right, you guys like Holy Paladin Feral Druid? All right, I think we might be locked the fuck in. I mean, none of you guys are going to agree on everything, but this looks like your raid comp snapshot. Unless you guys feel very, very confident. All right, Feral or Boomy? Sure, okay. All right. If you want Feral or Boomy for your raid buff, there you go. Now, next week I'll let you guys see a full heroic week, and then you can make some more changes. However, I would be very careful in that 30-man raids. Well, there's two things to think about. Number one, you're not even going to see the boss next week that this is going to be based on. That's number one. Number two, healers specifically operate very differently in 30-mans and 10-mans in heroic versus 20 based on the healer. So like healing logs are like a little weird. Oh, Boomy. Oh, a late change. Boomy ahead of Feral for you guys. All right. Boomy got buffed yesterday. All right, and now Feral's out. Just put Druid. I usually, if things are the same like role, I usually just give you it. But if you have to pick between role, I mean, I guess DHs, you could make that argument as well. Like Aug and Dev are just clearly different. But like, yeah, maybe you guys actually should have to. All right, for Demon Hunters then, what do you guys think the Demon Hunter spec is? Two Devour, one of each. Yeah, Devour's a super interesting class. It's got like, or spec. It has like a very, in certain scenarios where it just like cleaves things for free, it's like so strong, but also it's like really timing oriented, right? Like it's doing actually negative damage outside of its CDs, and then like in its CDs it's really good. Also, it kind of like doesn't want the same lust that everyone else wants. It's also a new class. People in their first year are not going to be as good on a class as one they've played forever, so yeah, if there's great pacing, it's goated. Max, what does negative damage mean? Doing bad damage. Like low damage. It's like sub-rope, kind of. It's hyperbole for how little damage they do. Max, can you show the list again? Yeah, sure. Max, do you have a ranged pickup dev DH, or is a melee doing it? In our guild, we have like Shaq is playing DH, so obviously he's our demon hunter, so he would play either. And then other people playing demon hunter, yeah, we have like started trending towards people that have experience playing ranged and melee. Like I think KSP is a potential DH option. He used to main rogue and he's played mage for a while. Trill's played both. We have basically everyone we have playing Havoc has experience playing both. But it is an interesting question of like who would actually do better if you just look at any random guild. Like would it actually be a Havoc player, or would it be like a ranged player? I don't know. Maybe a ranged player. It's got elements of both though. Max, do DKs bring a raid buff? They bring grip, and there's no other way to grip. Max, are you still just... Will you guys be doing double the amount of splits for both raids on release, or going full send into just one of them? What? I don't understand what the fuck you're talking about, man. How accurate do you think the list is? I don't know. There's some things that are right here and some things that are not right. Like most things. I mean, realistically, over the last 2 years, you guys have gotten anywhere from 80% of this right to 60% of it right. And you've gotten 60% of it right twice and 80% once. Actually, the one where you got it the most right... Oh, no, I think you guys did this before Heroic Week, even. So you'll probably get around to that much of this, right? I don't know. I mean, you have to keep in mind, I don't actually know. Like, I'm certainly going to have a better outlook on it than you guys will, probably. I just know more about the last boss, I think, than a lot of you do. You haven't seen it. I haven't seen it either, I guess. Well, I guess that one team streamed, like, a couple pulls of it, but... Yeah, it's kind of my job to know what we're going to do, but... Yeah, it's, Yeah, things change. Like, I don't know, if you were to look at, like, how... If I were to guess before tier what our comp is on a boss, sometimes it's exactly right, and sometimes it's, like, one or two things change based on circumstances you're not aware of. Something's, like, worse than you thought or better than you thought, or... I don't ever, like, try to lock in an exact 20 for a fight. I usually lock in, like, 22. And it's like, this you would change for this reason, this you would change for this reason. And I think if I were to, like, be based on 22, I think we've gotten that right, like, basically every tier. Max, wildest prediction for what's going to cause drama this tier? Definitely some add-ons. I'll tell you that right now. There is absolutely things that Race to World First guilds have that is not like publicly available via add-ons right now. That's stuff that you used to use. And I'm assuming every guild has communicated with Blizzard about the stuff that they're doing. A lot of it has gotten fixed because we've told them stuff we were doing and then they've fixed it. But yeah, there's gonna be some shit that even just looks sketchy, and I think people are just basically gonna constantly be asking over the next couple weeks, like, how are they doing this? Is this allowed? And like, obviously, none of us are gonna do anything that isn't allowed. But like, we've reached out to, like, we've basically every piece of cool tech we've come up with, we have been upfront with Blizzard, and we've literally shown them it. And 90% of that shit has gotten nerfed or banned, but not all of it. Even the other day, we messaged them. We're like, hey, you can still do this and this and this. We're planning on doing this. So just letting you know that. If you guys don't want us to do this, you can let us know. Or obviously we're giving you the information of how we're doing it, so you could obviously have the option of fixing it. But, you know, that is what it is. And maybe they fix that stuff, maybe they don't. The likelihood that they fix literally everything or other guilds have thought of stuff that we haven't is pretty high. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just basically going to be, like, if there's any drama in this race, it's going to be surrounding that. But it's not going to be real drama. It's going to be, like, basically, none of our guilds are going to use stuff that you think is sketchy that you haven't told Blizzard about. Like, I guess, is there an opportunity, like, for example, what we have been doing, like I've just told you, is we've, like, every time we come up with some new tech with all their shit they've done, we tell them about it because we want to be on that side of things. The last thing that you want to do as our guild is be using something that you haven't told Blizzard about, and then now they're in the process of, in real time, figuring out what you're doing and whether it's sketchy or not. That's so scary. Like, that is so fucking scary in our position. Like, you just can't risk that. But, like, I don't know. Like, to me, it seems insane that a guild would do something else. Like, if any other guild, like, isn't telling Blizzard anything they're doing and is just ripping it, like, I feel like that would look so bad, like, from Blizzard's end, that's not really possible. But I guess someone could be doing that. I'm pretty sure, like, Echo has been, like, reporting all the stuff they've been coming up with too, because it's the only, like, logical thing for any of our guilds to do at this point. So I think I don't know, but the thing is like, people are fans of certain guilds, right? Like, it's such a real thing. Like, someone's going to be using something that even maybe is the same thing but looks slightly different than someone else. Then someone makes a Reddit thread and they're like, is this guild cheating? And then everyone who doesn't like that guild's going to be like, yeah, yes, they are. And then, like, even Blizzard will know that it's above board and we've told them about it, but the public doesn't know that. So, like, they're just going to go crazy. I don't know. I think it's going to be wild, bro. I hope they never get rid of this little bow. Who did I get? Casket collar? Nah. Give me a new one. Marrow drinker. Did you guys see that Reddit thread the other week about how someone Holy DK got a pet named Bone Gobbler and someone reported it and he got banned? He ended up getting unbanned, but he literally got banned for an Unholy DK pet name that you can't name. Max, do you want to react to Sim Google Doc sheet? It's good content. How would that be good content? I'm going to look at Sims. What would be the content? I'm not going to tell you my opinion on any of them. So, like, I would just look at them. Like, oh, look at that. I don't know. I feel like it would be dog shit content because I can't say anything. Max, what mechanic types do you think Blizzard still struggles to design well? I think they design. There's good examples of them designing like basically every kind of mechanic and coming out with new mechanics that are pretty good. Maybe a way to answer that question is it's going to be really interesting to see if they can find a good middle ground with an assignment mechanic now that there isn't conventional ways to assign them via add-ons and stuff. Like, how are they going to design those? Are those going to be annoying? Or are they going to be like too easy and not very fun? Blaze lines are overused now. Yeah, they fucking, bro, they hit the blaze lines and they were cool, and then they just like kept fucking doing it. They actually, that's so true. They fucking love a blaze line. Tank swaps, they're almost universally dog shit. I first of all, I've tanked for like a really long time, so like that's near and dear to my heart. But I don't really know. I honestly am pretty impressed with Blizzard's tank swap design with how basic it is. Like, they've come out with some insanely cool tank fights, but there's only so many ways you can do a tank swap, man. Like, there's one on every boss. It's just they have to do something to you to where the other tank needs to taunt. That has to happen, and you can only do that so many ways. Like, and every now and then they come out with a boss where it's a really cool version of it. Have any roster changes happened on either guild? Yeah, there always is. I don't really know about the other guilds, but we've had a few people. I think we added 2 people this raid. Max, how do you guys handle not knowing whether a tier is going to last 1 reset or 4? I mean, we kind of know it's going to last like 2 resets because every raid does except for like one of them. Like, this raid literally can't be 1 reset. And it's kind of ridiculous. Like, there's like no way it lasts 3. Like, for something to last 3, it wouldn't even be a boss is too hard. It would be like the boss is unreasonably broken or bugged or overtuned for too long. And they have a pretty good history now. We've been on like the really bad end of these things, especially on like Ashara, but like they just don't do that anymore. Like, anytime a boss is bullshit, it's fixed pretty quickly. Max, what if Blizzard just says, fuck it, we aren't tuning the boss if it takes you 4 research worth of gear to kill it? They just don't do that, though. It would also be bad to watch, be bad to play. They just have they've never shown any precedent that they would do that or have communicated that or have even remotely done something like that ever, so. Pretty sure that would kill the race, actually, and they really don't want that. The race is really good for them. Like, could you imagine if, like, there's all this viewership on this boss, and then it's literally impossible, and just they do what you said, and they're like, fuck it, fuck these idiots, bro. Fuck it, figure it out. And then the boss is just unprogressible for 3 weeks. I mean, we would all quit, right? And it would just be over for them, so they don't want that to happen. Max, is there a possibility that there will be 3 actually last bosses? No? Are you a fan of the 3 separate raids thing? I'm indifferent. It's the same. There's 9 bosses in this tier. Whether they're all in 1 raid or separate ones, it doesn't make a difference. As far as progression's concerned, I'll get back to you after the tier about that, though, because there will likely be some mythic splits because of that, and I'm not sure if that's going to suck or be nice, so we'll see. Max, do you think they'll try to claim that China prize pool from the end of one of the earlier raids? Oh, that's really interesting. So if you guys are unaware, like, I don't know who's actually putting up the bounty, but for Chinese WoW, there's a bounty to like get the world first. I think right now it's like a couple $100,000 or something like that to the guild that gets world first. And I think there's an extra bonus for even getting top 3. But what's interesting about this raid is, for anyone who knows what they're talking about, there's one winner of this race to world first. And it is who gets 9 out of 9 mythic. However, for people who don't know what they're talking about, there's 3 separate Hall of Fames. There's not one Hall of Fame. So what you could see is like a Chinese guild, I guess, trying to get any specific one of those raids first while everyone else is ignoring it, just to be like, look, we got world first. And on Hall of Fame, that will technically be true, right? Or really just anyone. I honestly think that is another, like, talking point about this race, because like there's a lot of people who are uninformed about the race. Like, it's actually the majority of people who follow it. I think you're gonna see potentially, like, I can tell you right now, there's almost no way that us or Echo get world first on Dream Rift. It kind of doesn't make sense for us to do that before someone else does it. So because of that, I could see some people being like, Liquid's reign is over after like one day in the race. Being like, they've fucking lost a raid. Even though it's basically, it's just like a 3rd or 4th boss. They just like put it in another instance. Yeah, fucking washed up. Max, from a world first perspective, what's the difference between a boss that's hard and a boss that's interesting? Well, those things are not... You can do both. There are hard bosses that are interesting. There are easy bosses that are interesting. There are uninteresting bosses that are hard. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes hard bosses are awesome, and sometimes they're horrible. They're wrong. They're hard for the wrong reason. They're just not fun to play or figure out. Max, on the same concept, do you agree that Method swept Mop? Yeah, that's inarguable. That's just how raids were figured out back then. So what he's referring to is Method won Throne of Thunder and they won Siege of Orgrimmar. And they won Terrace of Endless Spring, but they did not win Heart of Fear. But how tiers were done back then is Mogashan Vaults was a raid and Heart of Fear was a raid, but Terrace of Endless Spring had the last boss of that tier, which was tier 14. And if you killed the last boss first, you won the tier. Winning Heart of Fear doesn't mean you win the tier. It means you win Heart of Fear, but that's not the tier. Right? So yeah, I mean, Method absolutely swept Mob. Max, I'm sure you've covered this, but how is the add-on changes affecting you now that it's real? Not much, honestly. Most of the stuff seems pretty normal, but I think you're going to see it more from... Okay, so there was one thing. Our healers were actually, and every healer in the game was, like, having terminal issues with the shit they were doing, and then they released a lot of the restrictions. So that was almost bad, the healing situation. But they reverted that. So, I don't know. It feels normal, which is kind of ridiculous because, like, why do the thing? Max, you guys haven't lost in a long time. Any pressure to keep up the streak? No. Same as always. You want to win every raid you do. How come you're not at the venue yet? It's not time. It's not time to do that. Max, you keep saying, why do the thing? But aren't computational things in combat broken? I guess we'll see. Some stuff is broken, yes, like, and it's much harder to do stuff like that, but you can still decent shit for sure. Max, would you play with the guild to help heroic splits? It's usually better for me to not be in them and jump around in different splits and raid lead weaker splits on harder bosses. And actually, what's been more my role during splits after we figure out the first few, because certainly there's a bunch of people in our guild that can successfully lead these runs, it's actually filling the runs. Like, we'll be like, hey, sign up for this group, and then someone will message me like, hey, Team Dot is like really slow to fill up. So I'll literally just open someone's stream in Team Dot. I'll tell them to open the group finder, and I'll say in my chat, sign up to this group, and then just hundreds of people sign up instantly that wouldn't have done that if I didn't do that. So I'm basically just like a fucking group injector. And I can't really do that if I'm mid-combat. Max, it's a good thing you only stream for an hour or two, or else the gift 2 subs thing would burn into my OLED. Is that still there? I'll just remove it. How much are you guys paying for splits? Have we not announced that yet? Do you think that not casting Heroic Split week will have an effect on the efficiency of splits? No. Max, do you think Blizzard will eventually give NA and EU official Race to World First coverage? What does that mean? What does official race coverage mean? Like on Warcraft stream? Not really. I feel like we would lose a lot of money. Like, for them to do that, they would have to also give us, like, a massive prize pool, because that would take the place of our current streams, or else it would just be putting too many things in different places. And we make a ton of money on these races, so we wouldn't be able to sell as many ads, and we wouldn't have as many viewers if they did that. So that would be kind of bad for us for sure. Plus, I don't know, they'd probably fuck it up. So no, I guess that would not be good. Max, China is getting coverage this season. What does that mean? Like, what exactly is happening with that? Give me, like, a post to look at. NetEase is a different company. So NetEase is running their own Race to World First event, I guess, for the Chinese guilds. Is that what you're saying? So, like, no one actually knows. People are just saying, like, China's getting official Race to World First coverage. Then I ask how, and there's no one actually has any information. They've just heard that sentence. That's hype, though. Max, are you nervous to see the impact on this race for revenue with Twitch's crackdown on lurkers and botting since all the categories are down on Twitch? I don't really know a lot about that. I mean, I keep hearing that. Like, I swear over the last like 6 months, people are like, yo, Blizzard made lurkers no longer count for viewers. And like, I just don't think that's true. Like, I keep hearing it, but like, do you guys realize if lurkers didn't count, everyone's viewer count would go down by like 90%? Like, very, very small amounts of people actually chat in Twitch streams. Like, that's just not true. I think they've done some things where like they've made certain tabs not count, like if you have multiple open. But that could be real for the race. But again, I don't actually know how that works. Because, like, at the end of last race, like, we had, like, Team Liquid had almost 100k viewers. I had 100k viewers. Echo had a little bit less than that. And then, like, I don't know. Are those 300,000 individual people? No. Like, definitely not. Like, I think there's like, if you're interested in the race, you have at least one of our streams and Echo's stream up, right? Not everyone, but probably a fair amount of people. Now that could overall lower viewership for sure. That would be kind of funny if it actually really accurately worked that way. I think it would be really funny to see the tabs that people are tabbed into. Because what would happen is when we have a low poll, our viewers would just go fucking crazy style. Like 200k viewers. And then as soon as we wipe and Echoes in a poll, our views would go down like fucking 80% and they just go to the other one. Wait, does stream together still work? I guess we gotta hit that shit tomorrow. Just ruin the fucking stream section. Or ruin the, Yeah. I can just see it for the next 2 weeks, by the way. Like, we're gonna be just doing the race and Dorky's gonna be like, Dorky wants to stream together for like fucking 2 weeks. Dorky's like, yo, give me in that shit. Let me in. Just do a stream together with you, Liquid, Fired Up, and the next two highest viewer count streamers. What I'm going to do tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Tuesday, is I'm going to stream together with at least one person in every split. So you can, like, keep track of all of the splits running if you want to. I feel like that's the best way to utilize it. Maybe stream together your smaller followed guildies to help them make a come up. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, also you're kind of incentivized to do the bigger streamers, so you end up higher in the section overall. Max, for the Chinese Raced World First rumor, look up Wowhead China Master Loot. Oh, yeah, I remember reading that. I don't know why that exists, though. Let's see. Wowhead. What's it called? China... Oh, I can't look at... Wowhead search is usually horrible. Let's see if this works. Chinese WoW Master Loot. Yeah, nothing. Master Loot returns for Chinese realms only. And I'm just going to type it into Google. Wowhead search is unusable. There we go. Master Loot returns for Chinese realms only. I don't really understand this. Like, what's the point of bringing back Master Loot? Like, right now, if you're in a guild that wants to Master Loot, you can. But adding the literal Master Loot option, the only thing it potentially lets you do, GDKP, you can do a GDKP now without actual Master Loot. It doesn't... It changes nothing. The community just wanted it. I mean, I guess. Explanation at the bottom. Okay. Cool. Chinese Server Hall of Fame. Every hard-fought battle is worth remembering. Chinese server will launch an exclusive Mythic Raid leaderboard. The core members of its first Chinese server guilds to complete the difficulty of the 3 major raids will receive customized physical souvenirs. Oh, that's sick. Every guild that competes in the challenge will be listed on the leaderboard, forever engraving your legacy of protecting Azeroth. That's so epic. Okay. Official group recruitment platform. These never work. Spectacular world first race. 12.0 will bring players 3 major raid dungeons, which will, ensure everyone to continue to happily follow the progression. We have hired battlefield reporters who have always selflessly created content for everyone. In the future, not only can you continue to follow the drama on the forums, but the official public account will also bring you a special column for first kill reports. Okay, so people are going to co-stream the race, the battlefield reporters, and of course the battlefield reporters who have always selflessly created content for everyone. Not selfishly, by the way, for the people. But the official public account will also bring you a special column for first kill reports. I mean, that's just like a tweet or something from, who knows, like Warcraft or NetEase or something. We hope our efforts will bring more interested topics into the community. Community creators such as these people and others will bring you various first kill stories, so please stay tuned. I feel like, okay, is this what you guys were talking about? For like Chinese WoW is getting specialized coverage. I feel like this is literally nothing different than this. Like, they're basically just saying, we're going to post about this shit sometimes, and there's going to be people streaming it when stuff happens. Like, that's just not... Okay. Read the next one. More exciting first kill bounties. Yeah, this has been a thing, but world first bounty prepared for the teams has accumulated to 1.6 million RMB. How much is 1.6 million RMB in US dollars? $230,000. God damn. That's some fucking sauce. All right. With 3 raids of 12.0, of course, every single one counts. How is it calculated? Of course every single one counts. What? But so you could just fucking head and Dream Rift real quick. We win! A super acceleration. Each raid will add 200,000 to the prize pool. Dude. They're getting Dream Rifted. Although a objective gap exists, perhaps a Chinese server can suddenly rise in the single boss raid Dream Rift. And dude, they are. They're literally being like, let's fucking go Dream Rift. Let's wait and see. The 500,000 RMB top 3 bonus introduced in last patch is still in effect. Just one step away. We wish the Chinese braves smooth sailing in their challenges. Master Loot. To help reduce the burden of guild and raid management, the Master Loot mode is expected to return to Chinese server. In recent interviews, designers have also expressed their attention to the loot mode. We will continue to help the Chinese players submit their feedback and suggestions. Dude, okay. When I said I don't understand why they're bringing back Master Loot, some of you guys were like, the Chinese community really likes it. They explain in the thing. That's why I opened this. And them explaining it is just, we're bringing it back. They didn't say anything here. Nothing. I opened this thing for no reason. I guess reading Battlefield Reporter was pretty funny. You need to YOLO Dream Rift Mythic first. We're not... I could be wrong about this. Oh my god, I'm dead. Wait, maybe not. Goblin for a reason, baby. I don't think we're going to step foot into Dream Rift for a long time. It doesn't really make sense to do that. Afraid? Question mark? Yeah. Spill that shit? It's really simple. So, the only thing that matters is killing the last boss, which is last boss of March of Keldanos. So to do that, we want to have the best gear possible. So let's just say Dream Rift happens to be really easy. If we go in there right away and kill it to get world first on it, we've now saved 20 of our mains to that raid and can no longer split it. But if we wait till the end of the week or we're getting close on Illyria or something, what we could do is go do mythic splits of, if it's easy enough, we could go do mythic splits of that raid with a bunch of our different characters, and instead of getting 4 pieces of mythic loot on the boss spread out between 20 of our mains, we could split those 20 plus mains into 3 or 4 different runs, and now we're getting 16 pieces of mythic loot from one boss, and they still all go to those 20 players. Does that make sense? That's how mythic splits work. So going in there early, you could argue, okay, go in there early, see how easy it is, and then don't kill it, don't get locked, and then you can split it. Okay, that's also, you could do that, but why would we do that when other people can do it for us? That's efficient. Let someone go in there, figure the boss out, see how hard it is, and we can gauge how splittable it will be by just watching them, and then we don't waste any time. So there's really no reason to go in there. Yeah, China got us covered, dude. China's gonna go crazy on that shit. Aren't we worried that the boss design team won't know how to balance bosses without weak auras? I think it'll be fine. Most bosses don't really need weak auras, like historically. So, I feel like what they'll do is just that. You know, they'll hit that real quick. They'll do like a normal boss. Like, you can basically look at all weak aura mechanics as this. Like, where you've needed a weak aura to solve something for you. They basically made the mechanic that tight to where you'd want a weak aura for it because weak auras exist. If weak auras don't exist, they give you the exact same mechanic. They give you 2 more seconds to figure it out, and maybe they put, like, 1 less of them out or something. That's how you do it. The reason they've designed those mechanics that way is because weak auras exist. If you remove the ability to do that stuff, you just simply give you more affordance, and then you're able to do it. Max, how confident are you that the 6 boss raid can be cleared in the first Mythic week? I don't know. It depends on how hard the boss is, man. So, I would say it's really likely that Void Spire dies in the first reset. So, the last raid we had a heroic week was Nerebar Palace. So we started on like Mythic Brood Twister on day 2 of that reset, and we ended up killing Silken Court with 1 minute left in our raid time on our last day. But, very important, for those 7 bosses where we had all week to progress on it, we had Brood Twister and Nexus Princess Kaiveza and Silken Court. That's like 500, almost 600 pulls of non-end bosses just up until the second to last boss. That's like ridiculously unheard of. That like doesn't happen. It's very, very rare. So like if you would have spent 1 less total day on progression on a combination of like Brood Twister and Nexus Princess, for example, which is probably what is true of the average raid, Silken Court would have died on Sunday, right? So confident? I don't know. Like, it'll probably die, but also maybe it's really hard and it doesn't. Who knows? Yeah, that's a good example. Nerebar Palace was 1,004 total pulls, and the first 4 bosses were 1 pull each. Think about that. That is fucking crazy. You have a long stream today. I like this. Wait, have I been streaming too long? Oh, yeah, 2 hours and 11 minutes. You mean it's like 10 minutes longer than it should be? Dude, you're so right, actually. You're so fucking right. Feel a little tired. A lot of work today. Max, what if you kill the last boss before the raid opens for Echo, and the raid is easier than expected? I don't know, get shit on, I guess. Well, like, go into March of Keldanos on Tuesday and just fucking quick little one-shot the last boss real quick. Hell yeah. That sounds likely to happen. That seems reasonable. If one guild kills Illyria and others don't week 1, it's GG, right? Nah? Nope. The thing that matters is the other boss. There's always definitely a chance of that happening, especially because if you look at the chance to kill a boss in the first reset, nothing else matters. It's just, is this boss killable this reset? EU will always have a better chance of doing that than we will. Like, for example, when we killed Silken Cord at midnight, I think Echo killed it at like 8 p.m. Like, they're always going to, even if 2 guilds are the exact same and one of them starts 12 hours later and their reset ends 12 hours later, that second guild is going to be more capable of what they can do in their first lockout because they spent more of that lockout with more information. Sprocketmonger alert. Yeah, kind of like Sprocketmonger if we didn't lose our power. Max, are you excited to full sweep a second expansion in a row? Yeah, that'd be cool, I guess. That'd be so hard to do. Like, realistically, I would love to do that. It'd be sweet if it happens. We're going to prepare every raid to win and stuff like that. But, like, the likelihood that you'd beat Echo 6 straight times just sounds, like, completely ridiculous. I think they're just too good. Like, at some point, we're going to do something bad, and they're going to do something good and win. Yeah, I mean, like, last race is a perfect example of that. Wouldn't that kill the race? I mean, first of all, no. Like, I think even if, like, we were winning a lot, people would still watch it. Be less, probably, if there wasn't, like, perceived competition, but what is the solution to that, though, right? Like, if you actually are winning too much, like, it's like you're about to win, and you're like, you know what? If we keep winning, is this bad for the race? Like, bro, you're just gonna fucking win. Like, you're not gonna, like, there's nothing you can do about that. Is there a bet on Kelshi or Polymarket for World First yet? I don't know, but strong advice for you guys to never interact with any of those websites ever. All right. GG. Good stream. See you later.